Right, boys, here we go. This is a video that you may not expect because I didn't think I would do this video either. Because in hindsight, looking back on things from what I thought was absolutely normal, in the last couple of days and weeks, the more I kind of look back on it, the more I kind of realize how fucked up it is. And I felt like doing a video on it because across my entire channel, I've always been very open with you guys for many, many years. If it's about my mum, if it's about my weight loss, if it's about little things. I remember I did a video about like my teeth, that like I had a massive issue, and I did a video to like just talk about it because I'm very stupid like that, and I feel like talking about it makes me feel better in a sense. It's just a good way to get it out there. And YouTube, since I very first started, has been my coping mechanism. So I don't know if this will get 1,000 views or 5,000 views or 5 views. It doesn't really matter. I just kind of want to put it out there because I'm going to talk about something that isn't talked about enough. It's completely normalized to a sense that it's fucking surreal. And I really think that it's just not right whatsoever. Because I was one of them that literally thought that this was literally normal. And in the last few weeks and months, I've looked back on it. I've took a step back and I've realized how weird it really is. So today's video with the title, my experience with alcoholism. I was an alcoholic for about at least a solid year and a half, but really I guess three and a half years, but it got really bad for a year straight. And I guess the worst for about 6 months, I guess it got really bad. And I look back on it and I thought it was normal. So basically, in England, there is a serious alcohol problem which is normalized to a fucking high degree, and it's, in my opinion, completely disgusting how most people don't recognize that. People are now just completely used to drinking every single day, or 4 times a week, 5 times a week, spending every Friday night and Saturday night going out and thinking that is absolutely normal, or at least drinking every day in some sense, going to a pub with a mate or two and just having a drink. That's seen as a normal thing when it shouldn't be at all, and I feel like no one talks about it enough, man. This may seem really random and why I did this video now, but basically, I did a tweet about a month ago saying that, from where I've come from, that a year ago I was alcoholic and I rang the Samaritans because I was so f***ed up. And some people took that as, I wanted to basically commit suicide. And I must say that was thankfully not the case whatsoever. Some people do ring Samaritans for that reason. I rang them because I was absolutely f***ing lonely and that I was so desperate to talk to someone. And this is when I went back home to Burnley around my friends and my family, and I felt so alone. I felt so alone, and I had a house by myself. I got a house in Burnley, or in Bowerford, where I'm really from, I guess, which is 5 minutes away from Burnley, and that I was with my family, my friends, and I never felt so alone in my life. I never felt so unhappy in my life, and it was because every single time that I had to do something, I want to go out and see anyone, it always was around alcohol. Go to the football, have some beers afterwards. Go to the Burnley game, beers before, beers during, beers after. Go out anywhere at all. Usually there's always some sort of pub or cocktail bar or something involved. Go to someone's house, there's always a beer that's there to be offered to you. Like, very often, maybe it's just my friendship group, but I was in a situation that beer was all I really thought about, and that's the first thing I thought about every day. That's how I knew that I was completely reliant on it, that I just waited until when I can have my next drink. Of course, now I live in Poland. I'm away from Burnley. I'm away from, the kind of area that I'm from and the people that I usually used to see. I can take a step back and I can see that that's not a way to live life. It's not healthy. I feel completely sick of the person I used to be because I didn't give a shit about myself whatsoever. All my money went on drinking. All of my time, energy, just literally was just focused on just doing a video. I go live on Twitch, in which I had a thing called Nukes, which I drunk out of a shoe. And it could have been beer, it could have been vodka, it could have been Jägermeister, could have been fucking anything, and I drank alcohol for money. If you knew me from like a year, 2 years ago, I got paid a lot of money, I guess, a good amount, £200 a night, £300 a night, but that's a fucking slope that I got paid a good sum that a lot of people were taking a heartbeat just for drinking some, beers. I mean, it got really bad that I remember one night that I had a stream that I was doing some shoeies. I was drinking a bit, and then basically someone mentioned my mum, and when I'm in a stage that I'm just, quite drunk, and then when someone says something about my mum, it just completely broke me down. It completely broke me down. I had an absolute breakdown on the street. I've not spoke about this in so long. I mean, I don't think I've ever spoke about it actually ever since. It just kind of got swept under the carpet. Remember, likes of Pie Face and all them lot entering my stream. I was at like 2, 3 in the morning saying, please stop stream, please stop stream, please stop stream. And I look back and I was complete and utter embarrassment. I've never felt so low in my life. That I never felt so pathetic in my life. And that was all based around me and my just addiction to alcohol, and that's what caused it. My own mental health just completely exposed because I just can't get off the drinks, man, and it helps me kind of cope with it. And it got to a stage that my mate, which lived in the next town next to me, had to get a taxi at 3 in the morning to then throw a rock in my window, basically, to get my attention to stop the stream. And I looked around, and this is a house that I had by myself, and it was a complete dump. I look around my room, it's just a bunch of bags and bin bags, and there's food everywhere, and there's plates, and there's glasses, and I just didn't care. I go in my bathroom, and I barely even wash the sink. I go to my bedroom, and it's just full of my clothes on the floor. And this was 2 years ago, and I was a complete mess. I just cared about waking up at 1 midday, 2 midday. I had a sleeping pattern, and I went on nights out, and I was known as one of the people that goes on nights out on Burnley that you always see on nights out, and that is never a good place to be down. Let me tell you one thing straight here. If you're known as one of the people that you always see on nights out on Burnley, that means you're probably not doing something right, okay? It's never a good thing that you're one of those kind of people, because I was always out, down Project, down Moor, down Bees Knees, down Smacks, whatever else, and Spoons, and I was just always there, and I just didn't care. I thought I was living some sort of high life, being a YouTuber and that, when it just wasn't the case at all. I was living a normal life, just playing FIFA and just kind of being by myself until I had to drink nets, because that was the only time I ever saw anyone, really. And this may sound like I'm just ranting into nothing here, because in essence, I really am, but it's just, I know there's people out there, especially in England, but in other places across the world, in Europe, wherever else, that maybe same age that I was, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, around, because I'm 23 now. I know there's people watching this that goes out very often, that drinks very often, and I'm not telling you what to do. I don't want anyone to think that I'm patronizing you or something, but as a person that I've lived through that, I've gone through rough nights out, that I've woken up on the street. In the last couple of months, since start of the year, really, I've been very vocal of my fitness progress. Okay, I did my 10K each day challenge. Been playing football 4 times a week for a football team, every single week. Sticking onto a decent diet, sticking onto simple exercise every day, and just making sure that you keep on top of what you eat. And I've noticed absolutely incredible improvements on my not just physical health, but mental health. I cannot say this enough. Drink water, exercise on a somewhat regular basis, and have a diet which is at least alright. If it's not just having a bunch of carbs every single day, it's just chips with jacket potato and processed fish fingers or chicken nuggets. If there's something a part of it that is a bit proper, pasta with some chicken in there, maybe a bit of broccoli, whatever else, I cannot say how important this is. And now that I've got to that stage, I can enjoy a beer maybe once every week if I really want to, and it won't be a big deal. I don't really want to, because it does make a big difference on my fitness, because I'm doing football. I want to try and keep top of fitness, but I cannot say how much this has helped me. And for me, living in Poland and being away from the lifestyle I used to live and kind of resetting my life and the way that I see things, I cannot say how beneficial it's been to me in my life. And it's really annoyed me that everyone thinks that drinking for 3-4 times a week in England is completely normal, and it's really not. And it annoys me how no one speaks out about it, because everyone's in the same boat, really. And yeah, it annoys me, man. Just a slippery slope. And for some people, it's something that they can't get out of, you know, because they drink and then they're hangover the next day, and then they can't do what they want to do, if it's work, or they've got a passion, but they can't actually really go for it because they spend half the time drunk, or most of their money's gone because they're spending it on nights out. You know what I mean? I don't know what this video is. I really don't know. I know so many people that's like my age, or like 18 or 19, and thinking that they failed at life because they're not like ex-YouTuber here or ex-TikTok star here, whatever else, because they think that because they're not Justin Bieber or they're not Logan Paul or KSI, they think they're a failure. It really annoys me. It really annoys me how people look at these kind of YouTubers or streamers or whatever else and think that that is everyone, that this is the thing to be, when that is so rare. Try to make little tiny goals every single day or every single week, and make it small, which is really realistic. So let's say, for example, you are a bit on the chubby side. No offense, maybe you are, okay? Maybe you want to try and lose a little bit of weight. Some people have like their bar as like they want to lose 10 kilograms or get a 6-pack, and that's it. But instead, just have it as like, just drink a bit of water and do a 2K walk, a 2K jog, something that's really small and reachable. And if you do that each day, then you will be so much more happy, because you feel like you're fulfilled, like you're ticking things off a list. The most worst feeling you can get is when you're feeling like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're procrastinating and you're thinking, yeah, but tomorrow I'll do it. Next week I'll do it. Some people use excuses of like, oh, I don't have enough time for this, whatever else. Like, it could take 10 minutes out your day and it would change your entire day, just if you simply do a little ab circuit in your living room floor. Do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups. If it's inside your house, 5 minutes, and it will make you sweat, and it will make you feel so much better about yourself. And it's a 5 or 10 minute workout. Drink water. No one talks about this for some reason, and I don't know why. Instagram or Twitter or Discord or whatever else, and they're saying how much they're annoyed with themselves. And it's like, you control everything, bro. You control everything. Everything you are in control of. Okay, if you want to lose weight, if you want to be a YouTuber, if you want to like be more confident in yourself. Self-love is the most important thing to gain. You can't rely on someone else to give you your own love, to give you your own confidence. That's not self-confidence. That's not how it works. You need to care about yourself to actually care about someone else. Otherwise, you're doing it completely wrong. You need to treat yourself like the most important thing in the world. I don't know what this video is, honestly. It's just me waffling away, but I just felt the need to, okay? From a person that has rang the Samaritans a year and a half ago, when I was a YouTuber and I was living the life back home and living a house that I did by myself, and from a person that, even though I looked at from the outside that I was doing so well, I was so f***ing lonely. And I relied on alcohol. I went out every weekend and I went out every night I was drinking each night, and I relied on it so much. And please, just for a person that you would think probably wouldn't have many issues, please just take care of yourself. Just take care of yourself. One step each day. One step each day, man. I ran the Samaritans because I was so lonely. I was so lonely. If it was not just for my lifestyle, if it was just your relationships, for everything else that combined into one, I felt like I was just in a cycle that was never going to end. Fortunately, I got out of that. And I just hope that some people can see that as well and make their own path. I don't know what this video is, but I hope for one person that this could help people out in some way. Have a good day, boys. Wherever you are, please, just look after yourself. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.